What is going on, vinyl community? Welcome to yet another live stream with the Record Spinner. Been doing a lot of these. There's all kinds of cool stuff I want to showcase. I can't help it. But anyways, today is a really cool day for us Pink Floyd fans because we got a vinyl debut release of a compilation called A Foot in the Door, The Best of Pink Floyd. Now, if you're a Floyd fan, you obviously know what this compilation is, but for those of you that don't know or aren't aware, basically it is a compilation which came out around 2011, which was riding the coattails of the remaster campaign that they were doing at the time. And it's a single disc effort, single disc as in like CD terms, and it pretty much is a whole dash of Pink Floyd in 80 minutes for the beginner fan or just the casual listener or for any Floyd junkie that likes to experience their work all in one continuous piece. And today is the first time that it has been released on vinyl. So this is a first time release and I wanted to showcase it on the channel because I love Pink Floyd, one of my favorite bands, and I figured it would be a cool piece to showcase here on the channel. Now, before I unbox it, I do want to say this. A Foot in the Door, it has a special place in my heart as a Floyd fan because that was my introduction to Pink Floyd. I remember towards the end of my freshman year, which is around 2012, I actually downloaded the compilation off of iTunes, and it's funny because I wasn't really looking into getting into Pink Floyd at that time. It just popped up on my iTunes homepage, and I'm like, well, let me see what songs do I know. And I knew a pretty good amount thanks to my parents because they're Pink Floyd fans, so I knew a couple songs there and there, but I decided to download it and listen to it for myself. This was before I got into vinyl collecting, and it pretty much transformed me into a full-blown Pink Floyd fanatic. And so I downloaded it, and of course I picked up a CD copy as well. As you can see, it kind of has a little bit of wear and tear. I brought this everywhere with me, and it's from this compilation on. Basically, I went out, bought every record, and here I am today. So I'm going to showcase it off. I've been babbling way too much, actually. So here is the box, and let's take a look at what it looks like. Now, before I show it off, I do want to say this. Let's say if you're not a fan of the Floyd, or you're you just kind of want to get a quick dash of what they're all about, this compilation does you pretty well, but just note that it doesn't really cover the entire history of the band. Basically, they only pick one song out of the Syd Barrett period. So, of course, I mean, at least they mention that, but it kind of jumps from that right into Dark Side of the Moon and focuses on everything that came out from Dark Side afterwards. So there's nothing from Metal, nothing from Sauce Full of Secrets, so that's my only major gripe with it. If anything, I would recommend the Echoes compilation, which is a 2 CD set, all kinds of different tunes, and a pretty decent presentation of the catalog and the legacy of the Floyd. But that's besides the point. We're talking about A Foot in the Door today. So it came in a record mailer inside of a box, which is really, really nice. It's extra protection. And let's open it up right here, right now. Okay. And woo-wee, we are in. So right off the bat, this feels a really nice quality. Nice thick cover. Here it is right here. And the artwork, sorry for the glare. I'm going to try my best to not have the glare. I do apologize. So basically, as you can see, you have all kinds of images from the Floyd artwork there. So you got the Division Bell, the cows from Adam Hart Mother, and all kinds of stuff. Here is a sticker, which states The Best of Pink Floyd, A Foot in the Door, 2 LP, 180 gram heavyweight vinyl. And here is the back side, which features the track list, which I am going to read off now. So first, on side 1, we have Hey You, See Emily Play, Happiest Days of Our Lives, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, and Have a Cigar. That's side 1. Then side 2, we have Wish You Were Here, Time, and the Breathe reprise, Great Gig in the Sky, and Money. Side 3, we have Comfortably Numb, High Hopes, Learning to Fly. And then on side 4, we have The Fletcher Memorial Home, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Parts 1 to 5, edited version, Brain Damage, and Eclipse. So overall, it's a good span of the catalog, but it just does focus on the stuff that people know much more of. You know, everything pre-Dark Side's kind of for the real diehards, but then of course the people that are really passionate also go for the post-Dark Side stuff. But that's besides the point. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So I'm gonna get my knife and just go through the gatefold, being very careful. I don't want to go all the way through because I don't want to damage the record. Not the record, the sleeve. And here it is. So, very shiny cover, I must say. Perhaps you can make that out better. Backside. And let's check out the gatefold. See what it looks like. Aha, cool. So, on the CD version, in the booklet, this features the track list on the inside here, but instead it just has the text removed, which is fine because this is a rather cool take on the photo of them covering their eyes. It looks like it's a would you say it's watercolor or some type of paint based type of artwork, which is nice. Here we have all across the border, we have all kinds of pictures of the band and the members, which is really cool. I'll show that off real quick. Hope you guys are catching this. Really, really nice. And of course, I'll show off the spine as well. Looks nice. And let's take out the vinyl. So they come in printed inner sleeves. Very shiny inner sleeves, I must say. And there's like different variations of the album cover. If you know the Floyd, sometimes they do little different variants of their artwork and whatnot, which is nice. And it also lists publishing credits and stuff for the songs on the first LP. And here is a really cool picture of the band as well, which looks nice. Looks really good, I would say, as like a vinyl debut release. Like, there's no real liberties taken, and plus you can really embellish it a little bit more too, I think. So, being very careful not to scuff this while taking it out. I will put these in nice anti-static sleeves, but of course I'll kind of look at these as inserts. So here is the label, a really cool custom label, and I'll show off the other side. Really, really nice. And I'm looking in the dead wax, and mastered by Bernie Grundman, of course. He has done all the Pink Floyd vinyl reissues, and this was indeed pressed at Record Industry in the Netherlands. So they've been doing, I would say, a pretty good portion of the reissues that have come out recently, and Bernie Grundman does a great job. He does the vinyl mastering, but the audio content itself is mastered by James Guthrie and Joel Planty. And from what I recall, I think I mentioned this in my Pink Floyd vinyl reissues video, they're new transfers from the original tapes, that way they can EQ them for vinyl. There was some speculation on if they were using the 2011 remasters, but that's not necessarily the case. Let's take a look at the other LP. So we have yet another variation of the cover here, which is cool. And we have the back side, and got some imagery there, which I believe is from the booklet right there. Looks really, really cool. And yes, so there are some artwork tweaks, because it does mention 2018 redesign by Peter Curzon. He works with Aubrey Powell with Hypnosis on some of the recent Floyd stuff. So yeah, it looks good. Let's take a look at what the other LP looks like. Also, I must say, they are very well pressed as well. No flaws, I would say, and they look pretty straight, I would say. Very, very flat. Here is the label for that. And here is the other label. Some nice custom labels there. And honestly, look, regardless of the fact that some periods of the band's career is not covered on this compilation, it's still going to be a fun listen. I would say overall, because when it comes to Pink Floyd and their compilations, everything is cross-faded, so it sounds like a continuous piece, which kind of follows in the trend of like other Floyd albums, how everything's kind of flows into one another, which I really do like. And I also must mention too, you Floyd fanatics that are aware of this vinyl release of A Foot in the Door is rather unique, because it restores the intro to time. Now, for those of you that downloaded it or had the CD version, What happened was, at the end of Wish You Were Here, when there was the wind sound effects, it would like fade into the bass plucking in the beginning of time when the rototoms come in. But now here on vinyl, because considering that it's 80 minutes on a CD, they restored the ticking clocks and the chimes that go on right before the bass kicks in on time. So that's a really cool thing that they did on this. So anyways, that right here was my unboxing of the vinyl debut release of The Best of Pink Floyd, A Foot in the Door. If you enjoyed this live stream and this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the record spinning.